What's up? What's up? Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast is here because the Sixers is on fire. Psych, nah. The Sixers are full tank mode, just the way we want it, to be honest with you. I don't think too many Sixers fans are really concerned about us losing games at this point. Nobody really wants to get in the play-in. I think what we want to do, our goal is to pretty much lose out to get the highest draft position you can, get some draft capital, and then maybe see what Willen and Dillon Morey can do in the offseason, because some willing and dealing needs to be done. I mean, the good thing is, if you want to be positive about the Sixers, and we lost tonight's game, let's start with that. That's a positive.
Yep.
But if you want to be positive, you could. The boy Quentin Grimes has been looking really good. Some of our young players, Justin Edwards, been looking good. Some of the young players who probably wouldn't have got clocked, like what's the dude name with the braids? The dude you like?
Ricky Council.
Yeah, Ricky Council getting some burn. Bona getting some grind. What's up, DB? What's up, Phil? McCain, you got Lil Z coming back next year after the injury. Obviously, you got Maxey, the franchise. So you got some positive things to look forward to for next year. Even Yaba played very good this year. He's still playing heart and soul out. He trying to earn that. He's trying to stay in the NBA. He ain't trying to go nowhere. He don't want to go back overseas again.
Yeah.
So, you got some positive things to look forward to the next year. And hopefully, Joel Embiid gets this surgery and he comes back motivated, healthy, in shape, conditioned. It's just a shame, and I said this before in the last podcast, that he didn't take care of all the what's the word I'm looking for?
Wait, before you start, say amen.
Amen. I'm saying amen.
Because you were saying a prayer about all the things that you want to do.
No, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I just hope that I wish he would have took advantage of everything that he has at his disposal. Like, as the NBA player, as the initial franchise and the process, he had everything at disposal. You had the money to get dietitians. You had the money to get personal trainers. You had the money to get a hyperbaric chamber and all the best, healing properties and sports psychologists and whatever you needed to do.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do, you had the money and the resources to do so. And he didn't take advantage of it. All these other dudes who you see who condition their body, who've been playing for years now, they did that. They even more like Vince Carter. Vince Carter played 20-something years in the NBA, took care of his body, conditioned himself, worked hard in the offseason. Kobe Bryant did the same thing, worked hard, conditioned himself. Steph Curry, LeBron, obviously KD and all them took care of themselves to make sure that their career could last long and they could be great while doing it. And Embiid didn't take advantage of that. But hopefully he'll have some kind of epiphany, some kind of wake-up call, and at least do a little bit of that. I honestly think it's too late to do all that, but we'll see.
You are who you are, and he is who he is. He kind of remind me of the not as far as play, but kind of the same mentality as what all the talent in the world but never lived up to their full potential.
Who's that?
Derek Coleman. Loved him.
Okay.
He was the most talented, probably big man. I'll say top 10, 6'10", all the talent in the world. But if you don't live up to your expectations of you, all you have to do is just eat right and just condition your body. Just commit like 10 to 12 years, and you could go down as an all-time great. But that's what Joel went there. I'm not want to bash him. He out there. Hopefully, whatever is going on, he can get that help. The knee gets better. And we just look for 2026, the 25-26 season. But in the meantime, I got a Quentin Grimes. Mm-hmm. He needs to chill. And that people need to chill.
His future. He can't less what the Sixers' plans are.
Is in the way. I mean, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing from the young boy, but the young boy needs to realize we don't need to win games. He had like 17 points in the fourth quarter today. He finished with 35 points. The ball is hooping.
I like Grimes.
I want Grimes to relax. Go sit, take a day off, rest your knees. Well, it was got a lot of. They had a what's the ball name? They used to be that we drafted. They keep playing the clip that he talked about how bad Paul George was. If he
Evan Turner. Evan Turner.
The clip is like viral now because everybody.
It got traction when he first said it. Now it's really out of control.
Yeah, now because everybody like, yo, he was 100% right, and he was. He said Paul George is weak-minded, and I don't want to attack the ball, but he has not driven anything for us this year. Like he hasn't shown me anything that will be able to carry us on certain nights or anything. He doesn't show anything. To me, right now, in this stage of his career, he's like the fourth. He could be the fourth best player on the championship squad at most.
I can agree with that. I remember before when we was arguing about Paul George and he was kind of hating on Doc Rivers, and I was kind of in favor of Paul George. I was hating on Doc Rivers a little bit. And I was in favor of Paul George. I may have to walk a lot of that back. I'm still not sold on Doc. I do think it's some fair criticism his way because he's not the only player to talk negatively about Doc. Let's get that out the way first. However, if Doc was dealing with this foolishness, then I'm not. It's 50-50 at this point. Maybe 60-40 in favor of Doc. Maybe 70-30 in favor of Doc because you're supposed to be a superstar. You're supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, a veteran. You're supposed to be one of the most skilled players, two-way player. You can play offense, you can play defense. You got a solid handle. You got the smooth game. You can pull up. You can drive to the basket. You got height. You got all the stuff to your advantage. Yet you can't do nothing when it's time to put a franchise on your back, or at least carry half the weight when Maxey was here, and you couldn't do it. So. I'm done with the boy Charles George.
Because he's only going to get older. He's not going to get better. He's going to get older. Next year he'll be 35 years. A second year of a 4-year deal. Almost at this point he's untradeable. And as far as I do like the Boner though. As a rookie, I think next year he's getting a lot of good quality playing time right now. So next year he should be even better. I know everybody. I like what's the guy? I can't. Yabusele. He's good. Yabusele. The only thing about Yabusele, he's undersized, and you can't have an undersized power forward and an undersized shooting guard and a often injured center, and think you're going to compete against the Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So as much as I like Yabusele, I don't know if he can really be a part of the starter for the 76ers.
I can agree with that. I think his role may be coming off the bench or some high energy type. I can agree with that a lot. I'm not gonna hate on that. Phil said, and I guess you're talking about Paul George. He said he can't judge a 4-year contract off of 45 injury riddled games. Okay, this is the problem. He's always injured. His track record is not favorable for injury. In the last 6 years, he played over 60 games one time. Played 74 games last year.
That was last year.
And that was last year. The year before he played 56. Year before that 31. Year before that 54. Year before that 48. And then that's when he was with OKC. He was playing games then, 77, 79, 75. That was good. But according to his last current 5-6 years in the league, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get an injury-riddled Paul George. It's going to get worse. Don't think it's going to get better. Do you think about it in year number 3 in the contract, he's going to be up to 70 games? It don't work like that, bro. He done. So I don't know. I don't have no trust in Paul George. Even when he was playing, even when he was healthy, I don't know. I expected a little bit more assertiveness from him, a little bit more aggressiveness, especially when it was just him and Maxey in the lineup and we were looking for shots. I don't know. I don't know what y'all saying. I know his game looked good. He looks smooth when his stroke is on pause. It looks so pretty. It looks so pretty until it don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't what y'all seeing and I'm not saying. I told y'all early on I was seeing a pattern here, have 25, 28, and then the next 4 or 5 games he averaged 12, 14 points a game. I'm like, it was a constant pattern throughout the whole year. Whole year. I've been going through the whole stat sheet. I think he had 20 back-to-back maybe once. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
And I blame Daryl Morey for the signing. He went fishing for stars instead of really looking for like young talent. He can't identify young talent. He has to go up with the stars that somebody already identified. But meantime, they're way over the hill.
I can agree with that. I can absolutely agree with that.
Which is why now, as we tank, I don't want him making any selections as far as who we should draft. I don't want it.
Do you think Morey can finally figure it out like Howie Roseman?
No.
It took Howie like 10 years, 8 to 10 years to start figuring it out.
But Howie also had some time off to reflect on what he did wrong. Morey left the Houston Rockets and went straight to the 76ers.
That's true.
So, no, we can't afford for him to figure it out. We need, if you want to figure it out with another organization. I'm like Harden. I cannot be a part of an organization that has Daryl Morey in it. I just can't do it.
Okay, Charlie Epstein more identified Maxey and he identified McCain.
And a lie determined detective, that was a lie. Again, for the 15th time, Morey said to Doc Rivers and Elton Brand, y'all continue with y'all board. He's not going to, don't worry about that. He didn't come and draft the Maxey. He was the president of operations, but he did not go in with that selection of Maxey. What happened was he got a phone call from Maxey's head coach. What's his name? I forget his name. Was it Rick Pitino? I forgot who was the coach at the time for.
I think it was.
No. It was. Can't tell me who was the coach of Kentucky at the time, y'all. But he called Doc Rivers and told him to select him. And Doc Rivers said, "You better be right."
Not Pitino. What's the boy's name?
And he took him. Calipari. I think it was Calipari.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
And he took him. Thanks. That's how we got him.
Mm-hmm.
Morey had nothing to do with it.
I agree. No, I remember that. I mean, what about Lil Z though? Did he hit on Lil Z or?
I don't know if Lil Z is a hit.
I agree with you. You still got to, you got to get through a whole season.
When you start messing with your knees and meniscus as a young player, I just don't know if he's going to have a full recovery. It's just a wait and see on him.
Tim Duno, it was documented, Charlie Young. That was documented or that Tim quoted. That was, you can find that on the internet. Is there unless Murray had a scrub.
Yeah, he might have had a spot.
You can't find it. It is there. Like he said, Phil Evans keeps saying we trade for Durant or Murray here. I can see Durant getting traded. I don't know if Durant will allow himself to be traded here, though. I don't know about that. I don't think people trust. See, you under the impression that people trust that Embiid is going to come back and be the Embiid of 2 years ago. I don't think that's happening. And I don't think other people trust that that's going to happen. What we've seen in and out of the lineup, all his injuries, bad knees, year after year, stuff happening in the playoffs. He getting hurt, never healthy in the playoffs for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't think players like KD trying at this point. I know he just like the ball and stuff, but he still want to be in a favorable position to win. I don't know if he trusts what this organization is doing and being able to contend for a title to come over here. I don't know about that. I don't know. But I love to see KD in the Sixers uniform. Absolutely. KD is one of the realest ballers of all time. But I don't think he'll want to come here. I don't. Maybe Wayne will argue different, but I don't see it.
At this stage in KD's career, he don't move the needle like he did before. You know how he'll give you the points, but I'm looking for leadership. That's somebody that's gonna that Jimmy Butler type person. Here we go.
Shout out to KY. What's up? I mean, listen, I agree with you. First of all, I'm kind of confused why they. I watched a little bit of the Suns game the other day, and they did win. They played good. Him, Bradley Bill, and the bull. What's the name? Light skin bull. I'm trying to figure out why they not winning. Yes, D Book. Now I like all three of them, and they got a center. I don't know what their problem is. Maybe they need a legitimate point guard there and all that.
But people got a real good Olympics. Like he was like the unsung hero. Like you had the big three, but then Devin Booker made a lot of clutch baskets. I thought they was going to come back this year and be really different, but for some reason they just don't gel together.
Who's the team killer?
Yeah,
well,
who's the team killer?
You said, he said KD is a problem. He's a team. You said KD is the problem? Is he the reason why our Suns don't have reliable playmaker to set him up? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Phil. I could go with that a little bit with the point guard to set everybody in motion. I could rock with that a little bit. But I still think if you got them three dudes, you shouldn't be fighting for a playing game. They literally fighting for the 10th. I think they might be in 11th. Last I checked, they were in the 11th spot. Let me see where they at now. Because that's crazy that you got them three dudes. And for the most part, I know Booker, KD's been Booker and KD's been out. I think Bradley Bill was out the lineup for a little bit. But for the most part, I think KD and Booker was there. But let me see. They are right now in 11th. 34-30. That's crazy. No, it's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
But here's the thing: Whitwell has never been a winner wherever he's been. Like he could put up points. But remember was with the Wizards? They didn't win games with him.
But you there with KD and D Book too.
I know.
So this is why I'm confused. Let me see how many games Devin Booker played this year. So far, they got it on here. Yeah, so far he played. He played pretty much all year. He played 58 games this year. Played 58 games. Him and KD. I know Booker missed some games. I mean, Bradley Bill missed some games, but KD and Devin Booker been there the whole time. Come on, you got two bona fide buckets, and then you add Bradley Bill into the mix when he is there. How many games Let me see. How many games Bradley Bill played? He might not even have missed as many as I thought. Let me see. Bradley Bill. Come on, Bradley Bill.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it.
He played 45 games, so he didn't miss that many. 45 games out of what? How many are they up to? Maybe I think they'll play about 60 games. He might be 60 games in, so he missed about 15 games. Come on,
the
man.
Lakers. What do you think about the Lakers? LeBron gonna be out. He hurt his. I think he messed up his groin. They just lost to the Brooklyn Nets tonight. So if
they in trouble. They in trouble. See, I know everybody love Luka. Luka, for one, is the biggest crybaby I think in NBA history. Yeah, I don't like him for that reason alone. He could ball, but he's the biggest crybaby in NBA history, and he's not a smart basketball player. And what I mean by
I don't know why you saying he's not a smart basketball player.
He takes a lot of bad shots.
He was just in the NBA Finals last year. He just got his team to the NBA Finals last year.
He did. He played well, and because he had Kyrie. He had a lot of boys step up last year that was balling big time for him last year. Kyrie came through in a couple of them playoff series, huge clutch shots. Kyrie was coming through consistently. So he had Kyrie as well. Let's not act like he carried them jokers all by himself. But he makes a lot of bad decisions, and he's still not conditioned. He's not a conditioned athlete. He's borderline Joel Embiid. He's just a little shorter. So he's not going to run into all the knee problems that Joel Embiid had. But they said he came into camp this year like 260. He had the heart and fat suit on when he came to camp. Come on, man. Can't win with that. We can't win with that. Look, Luka's not going to carry your franchise to championships like that. I just don't see it happening. That's why they lost to Boston, because Tatum and Jaylen Brown had a field day running around him because he couldn't keep up.
They got some real tall dudes there. But I'm like saying, if the Lakers right now, they were in second place. Now Denver is in the second place, and they're in the third spot right now. And they could very well fall because Memphis got the almost identical record. They are half a game behind them. So
Let me
Golden
tell you.
State might be the catch up.
Let me tell you how this thing gonna end. OKC obviously is finishing one.
I know Charlie. Luka told even to stop because Luka is a great player. He's simply as they. Even if you whine, they all whine. They all whine playing.
The biggest crybaby of all time. Of all time. I've never seen a player cry more than Luka, and to the degree that he cries. LeBron been getting there a little bit lately too. He's been kind of irritating me. I like LeBron. LeBron, in my opinion, is the greatest overall basketball player I've ever seen.
Now,
but
are you mad when you say he's been crying? Are you talking about to reporters?
No. I'm talking about to the officials. He be doing a little bit girling, complaining too much a little bit. I'm not a fan of that girling stuff. I don't like that. But what you said?
No, I was going to ask you, what was your thoughts though on him when checking Stephen A. Smith though?
Oh, we got to talk about that. That's one thing we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about Steph Curry being in the GOAT conversation. So we definitely got to handle that one. I'm going to timestamp that for all my Curry fans out there. But as regards the Stephen A. Smith thing, I'm kind of back and forth on it. I understand you as a father wanting to protect your son and you want to step up for him and all that. But was Stephen A. being that reckless for you to step to him in that fashion, in that form? Because you kind of stepped to him like it wasn't really like Stephen A. said. It wasn't a conversation. Stepped to him right after the game. You told him, "Yo, keep my bleep 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 son name out your mouth," and then you just strolled on off. Very aggressive, very demonstrative. Obviously flexing on him. LeBron kind of hovered over him. Big shoulder. He's like, "Yo, young boy, I taste out your mouth and all this." You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think, from what I've heard Stephen A. Smith say, I don't think it warranted that type of response. If you ask me, I don't think he was in there like, Bronny trash. He need to go back to the G League and he should never be in the NBA and all that. The only thing he did say was he said he feels he's not ready and LeBron shouldn't be subjecting him to that type of scrutiny because he's not ready. Because ultimately, that type of scrutiny could make or break a player. Yeah, it could psychologically get in your head. So I do think it was a little bit more protecting Bron probably could have did of Bronny. To be honest with you. But at the same time, some of that might not be Stephen A. Smith play. So I'm not mad necessarily at Bron for checking him. But, I don't go either way with it. I'm not sold either way. Go ahead.
There's some things that it's one thing to check somebody. Like actually, I'm okay with what LeBron did. I'm gonna say that from the door. I'm okay with LeBron did.
Oh, during the time out, he said. I thought it was at the end of the game. I didn't know. Okay, go ahead.
Because what happened was what he did was unacceptable. The way he's talking to him, talking about for the sake of everybody, talking to get your son back in the league. First of all, his son is an NBA player. So if it's a criticism of his son's game, it should be directed towards his son, Bronny. In direction of his dad, that's kind of question. That's suspect. You don't question somebody's dad, even because you're not questioning LeBron or his game. You're questioning LeBron's son's game. Who does that?
See, but I think clearly Bronny's. I know people want to act like, well, if you look at the picks after Bronny and they not doing that well and all that. What I have to do is look at these dudes in college. Bronny's college resume. I don't know too many dudes with Bronny's college resume who would have been in the NBA. So clearly he got in the NBA more than likely. Let's say that. I'm not saying 100%. More than likely he got in there because his dad. So the only way,
Kobe got in there. Well, Kobe was a good player in high school.
Kobe, the best high school player in the nation.
But that's true. I won't use Kobe. But Austin Rivers. What I was going to say about Austin Rivers, he wasn't a great player. He could shoot the ball a little bit, but he wasn't a great player. But you don't think Doc Rivers uses his connection?
No, absolutely. I'm not saying. That's not the argument I'm making here. All I'm saying is because of that being the case, the only player who has authority to sit Bronny down would be LeBron. So that's why if you're going to address it at somebody, it has to be LeBron because LeBron the one who got him there. LeBron the only one who can sit him down.
But why are you telling somebody's father to sit him down? Like what? He wouldn't even be caring. You know how many? He's not even playing no more than 5 minutes a game. Why is that so important? He's playing 5 minutes top.
But but it's not a. Do you understand all the scrutiny LeBron? You know how much hate Bronny be getting on him all the time? Now, Bronny getting some love. Don't get me wrong. His jersey sales are selling. When he in LA, they cheering for Bronny. But there's so many video clips that I come by. Bulls hating on Bronny. He should be in the league. They showing all his low lights and him bricking and threes. He can't shoot with a lit.
Those are people that hate LeBron James. So they any way they can attack him, they attacking him through him.
But you know that already, and it's worse when your son ain't playing well. That's all. I guess that's the main point Stephen A. Smith was trying to make. Now, I'm not completely capable for Stephen A. Smith because he do some goofy stuff sometimes. So I'm not putting my cape on for him like he a Burrow. Yeah. But I'm just saying, in that instance, I think Brown went a little. In my opinion, I think Brown went a little too overboard. Now I'm not bad. I can't even say as a father. I'm not saying like he is sucker. He is nut. I'm just saying I just feel it was a little overboard. That's all I'm saying.
Stephen A. Smith has done something. You saw what he did to Lou Will. Remember, Lou Will always said that story how when he was on draft night, when he first got drafted, Stephen A. Smith was on a program, and he told me some. That's he just donated the Sixers donated a jersey to his family or something like that because he's never going to play in the NBA again. He said he was so crushed. He said he hated him for years. It took him like 10 years later after seeing him. And Stephen A. Smith kind of apologized to him. He said, "Sorry, your family should be proud of you." But that's the kind of stuff he says things that's kind of personal. And a lot of players are coming out defending LeBron.
I mean, Stephen A. Smith reputation precedes him. Charlie M. kind of he's saying Stephen A. Smith wasn't out of pocket. He said LeBron was tripping how he did that, whatever like that. Well, seasoned gamers said that happened during the timeout, but when your son plays for the league, he's going to get criticism. I agree with that. But Tim is kind of saying he should have directed the criticism toward Bronny. But if he did that, I think Brown would have still had a problem with it. Either way, I think Brown would have had a problem with it. I'm not capable for Stephen A. Smith. I've said he's done some nut stuff. He did nut stuff with Kyrie, with the whole vaccine thing and how he was trying to demonize Kyrie for making his decisions, his personal decision about not getting vaccinated and all that. Stephen A. has done some nut stuff. Don't come on here. I'm not coming on here caping for him. I'm just saying we're talking about this situation. So you talk about Lou Will and all these other bulls. And listen, I'm talking about this situation in particular. I don't think he was that out of line in this situation. That's all I'm saying. But Ethan should have been on here. Like he was defending tooth and nail LeBron James, so he should have been on there to cape for his boy. But what's up, brother?
Brother man to you.
Brother man to you. All right, question to the chat as well. Question to you, Tim. This is a question been floating around because the Diesel, Big Shaq, the Big Aristotle, the Big Shamrock, Big Shaq, the Diesel said that my young boy, my man's Wardell Stephen Curry should now officially be in the GOAT convo. What do you think about that? What's your thoughts? Because I got a whole lot to say.
Well, here's what I will say. Steph Curry he's a GOAT. He can't be the GOAT. He's not in the GOAT conversation.
Why not?
If we want to go to Mount Rushmore of the NBA, he might make the Mount Rushmore of the NBA. I'll give him that.
Okay, I respect. Go ahead.
I'll do that. But as far as the GOAT, he's not a two-way player. As a if you one-dimensional, you just can't be the GOAT. You can't be. I'm looking at it right now, and if I had to pick it, who's in the GOAT conversation is LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Those are your 1, 2. You can throw Kobe in there. You got to throw Wilt in there, and you got to do Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those are the 5 people that are eligible to be in the GOAT conversation. Everybody else, you don't qualify. Sorry. And you know how in life you got superstars and then you got your megastars. Then they're the megastars of the NBA all time.
I think Steph Curry is now entered into the megastar conversation.
Not for the GOAT.
He's entered into the megastar conversation, and that in itself, in my opinion, enters him into the GOAT conversation because he has everything else. at his disposal that you want to argue. If you want to argue MVPs, he got that. If you want to argue championships, he got that.
I would argue defensive players of the years.
And that's the only thing. So in my opinion, let me preface this by saying,
in our NBA,
I don't use voted on accolades to critique and grade my players. That's not my thing. That's fine. It's not my thing, but it's a voted on award because just as fast as you could say, well, yeah, Home got no defensive MVPs and this, that, and the third. You can also say, yeah, Kobe Bryant only got one MVP and Steph got two. So automatically, the MVP is a huge award that should kind of catapult him in front of Kobe Bryant. But I don't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff. And you can also say, if you want to go for vote on awards, Steph Curry was the only in history unanimous MVP. Nobody else has even got. I think the closest person got near that was Jordan. Nobody has
used that. So
he was so good. He was so good. He was so good that nobody else voted against him that year. Nobody else voted against him not to be the MVP. So, but I don't use vote on awards in my criteria. This is my criteria, right? This is how I gauge why he should be hovering around this GOAT conversation. All right. For one, he is the undisputed greatest shooter of all time. All right. Greatest shooter of all time. He's the only player probably in history that you can say this attribute is without question is his. Is his. He's the best. When you talk about a rebounder, you can name Moses Malone, you can name Dennis Rodman, you can name Hakeem Olajuwon, you can name Ben Wallace, you can name a whole bunch of dudes. Oh, he's a great rebounder, he put the body on you, blah, blah, blah. When you name scorers, you can say KD, you can say Jordan, you can say Wilt, because Wilt averaged 50 points in the season. You could throw all these names out. When you say who's the best ball handler, you can name Kyrie. You can name what's the dude name? The sixth man of the year.
If I say the greatest defender, no, I can't name.
No, we're not done with that. We're not done with that. When you name different attributes, when you say who's the greatest, that's nothing. You can say who's one of the best defenders. You can throw Hakeem Olajuwon out there. You can say Kareem. You can say Draymond Green. You can name a whole bunch of different players. Then this, that, and the third. But when you say shooter, it's exclusively to Steph Curry. He's the only one you can say that to. Only one you can say. When you say shooter, oh yeah, that's Steph Curry, no doubt. No doubt. That's one thing. For two, he is probably, in my opinion, one of the top 5 most skilled offensive weapons of all time. And because of that weaponry, because of that, the league has extended. He has extended defenses beyond what was even thought humanly possible. He extends defenses beyond half court. You literally got to pick this dude up almost full court as soon as the ball checks in. Almost every game I watch Golden State play, I honestly do not think there's a game that he's not picked up before half court. As soon as they inbound the ball, Steph Curry, it's defenders all on him. Defenders all, whole defense shift. I've never seen, and Draymond Green said this himself, I don't think there's been a player in history who has been schemed over.
He plays with Steph Curry. So Steph Curry, of course, you're going to jump up Steph Curry.
So you don't agree with that? You don't agree with the type of defense that he sees and the type of the gravity of the pull that he has, and you have to defend him further than anybody else? You don't agree with that?
Offensively, he's great. We all can agree that Steph Curry is one of the GOATs. He's just not. He can't be the GOAT. He can't be everything. At one point, Kobe Bryant was electric as far as scoring. He was unstoppable. He had like a good 3 to 4 years where he was unstoppable, the greatest player in the game at that time. We can say that about LeBron. We can say that about Michael Jordan. We can say these are two-way players, mind you. We can never say that Steph Curry was one of the best two-way players in the league. That has never been on his resume. If that's the case, you cannot put him in that the same stratosphere with those folks. You can't do it. I'm not. I do believe he's a great player. He has 4 NBA titles. He has all these accolades, but he's a one-way player.
He's not. See, one-way player means you cannot play defense. He's actually a better above See, there's another misconception. Let me clear this up for y'all right now. And I want y'all to matriculate this information to y'all friends. And I want y'all to post this on other podcasts. And y'all like, share, subscribe. Because it's this notion that Steph Curry is like a horrible defender. He's not. His defensive rating for his career is a 108. The average defensive rating for an NBA player is 112. So he's actually better than average. He's 4 points. He's 4 points better than average. Average is 112.
Average.
He's 4 points better than average. You're not a liability on defense and you win 4 championships. It just don't work like that. So he's a solid defender, not all-time great. He's a solid defender, but he's also his offense. Keep in mind, his offense is also his defense because he's the only player to wear down his defender to the level that he does. He physically exhausts you. So by the time you run around chasing Steph, you can't play offense. If you got to stick him, your offensive game is finished. He sent Dellavedova to the hospital. He had to have IVs pumping in through his neck and his stomach and all stuff like that. Because he was wearing this man to complete exhaustion.
No, because what happened was Steph Curry always had the weakest players defending him. He's never had the superstar because Klay Thompson always had the big guard. Everybody, the little guys is always running around sticking Steph. I mean, come on.
You mean he never had to defend? He never had to defend the best player. He always had the best defensive player on him.
Had to stick the best.
Most players, Jordan didn't either. Jordan didn't either. Jordan didn't either. Jordan had pimping. According to Rasheed Wallace, Jordan did Jordan. Who stuck Magic in the finals? Jordan pimping. Who stuck Barkley? Who stuck Barkley? You think Jordan? Did Jordan? Yeah, who stuck Magic?
In the finals?
Yeah, who stuck Magic Johnson in the Bulls finals?
Scottie Pippen played down low, so Scottie would be the defender on. They both were good ball handlers. They played kind of like the same position.
Okay, who stuck Charles Barkley?
Whoever the power forward that was on the opposite team, whether it was
okay. Who stuck Sean Kemp? Who stuck Sean Kemp?
The opposite teams. What's the point you making? What I'm saying is Steph Curry, Klay Thompson has always got the strongest defender.
Okay, my point is, most of the defenders, most of the best players wasn't the point guard. Even when he played against Cleveland, the best player was LeBron James. But Curry going to stick LeBron. He going to stick when they play OKC. He going to stick KD.
What did you say? The best defenders or the best scorers, the best players were never the point guard, except for Steph Curry.
Yes,
that's the fact. Most point guards are not the best players on their team.
Yeah. So how'd you hold that against Steph Curry?
Those are the players that's defending Steph Curry. So Steph Curry is chilling. Meanwhile, the shooting guard,
because they roll the best. First of all, they roll the best defender toward the best player. If the best, just like they did with LeBron, you had Iguodala sticking LeBron, you had Draymond Green sticking LeBron, you had the host of characters sticking LeBron. They rolled the best defender, just like Magic Johnson. Pippen was a small forward. Magic Johnson's a point guard, but guess who stuck Magic Johnson? Scottie Pippen. This is Scottie Pippen. That's what they do. They normally
get the best players.
I'm sorry?
Jordan would get the best defenders. He would get the double teams and triple teams. Jordan would always get the best.
Yes, Curry also gets the best defender. The best defenders stick Curry too. This is my point. The best defenders also get on Curry.
No, then Klay Thompson. If you want to be serious, Klay Thompson got the best defenders on him.
No, what? Come on, stop. I thought you were saying he stuck the best players on the other team because he had the height, and Klay Thompson was a great defensive player. But when it came to putting the best defenders on him, it was always Curry. Curry got double and triple team. He never even had one defender. That's another reason why he's in the GOAT conversation, because he draws so much attention. They all lock in on Curry. They ain't worried about nobody else. Klay shooting wide open threes. Draymond get to shoot wide. Draymond shot 30-something% from three because he's so wide open. Everybody, this is Jimmy Butler said the same thing. Jimmy Butler got there and said, "Yo, I've never had so many wide open shots in my life." He said the same thing. Curry doesn't get the best. What role y'all in? He don't Somebody, Birdman, stop. Tim, okay.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Because this is what makes him not he can't be in the GOAT conversation. He always got the weakest.
What are y'all talking about? Y'all. Somebody, please. Charlie M. Who else is on the chat? We only have like 5 people in the chat. Somebody, please stop this foolishness. Well-seasoned gamer. Who else on here? Which recall you still on here? What's his name? Phil Evans. Come on here. Stop this foolishness. No. Curry always got the best, not the best defender. He got the best defenders. It was always 2 to 3 people coming at Steph Curry. Remember in the finals game with Toronto. What did they do to Curry? Boxing one.
It might have been a game or 2 where he was just so hot that they had to double team him for the most part. But after that, everybody
double teams him. Everybody
the point guard is always the weakest defender. And those are the ones that's always defended Curry. It's always the case.
Nope.
And then Curry has always defended the point guard, which is the weakest player on teams. He always had the sweetest job in the world. Think about it.
The best player hardly never defends. The best player hardly never defends. The only player I will actually give props to, the best player who defended the best player on the other team consistently, was Kobe Bryant. He's the only one on that list that I'm gonna say that to. LeBron didn't even do it consistently. Jordan definitely didn't do it consistently. Neither did neither did what's it called, Will or Kareem, unless they happen to be a center. Then obviously you guard them. But other than that, nah. Kareem wasn't guarding Bird and all that stuff like that. Come on, man, I ain't trying to hear all that.
But he had Robert Parrish. He was a great player.
Thank you, well seasoned game. Thank you, Wellesley.
Teams had great players.
Who? Matter of fact, when the Sixers played Golden State, who did they put on Curry? When 3 years ago when the Sixers played them, remember when we had our best defender was the bull Thibault. They had Thibault on Curry almost every possession, all the time. You took the best defender, you put on. He was our best. Thibault was a great defender. Thibault was a very good defender. He was tall, he athletic, he had great instincts on defense. 6'7",
like crazy.
Just like he was still a great defender, you know it. Same thing they did.
Only playing like 20 minutes a game.
Same thing they did with Trae Young. They put Ben Simmons. Remember early in that series, Ben Simmons wasn't playing Trae. Then all of a sudden they rolled Trae on Ben. Same thing they did with Luka. Ben Simmons on Luka. They always put the best defender on the best player. This is what they do. Same thing well-seasoned gamer just said. They play Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, small forward. What's he doing on Steph Curry? He running around locked on Steph Curry. They put the best defenders on the best player. This is textbook.
They know Steph is only 6'1", 6'2". They just put taller defenders up so they
yes, taller athletic defenders. They're not putting no center just because he's tall. They're not rolling out Nurkic and putting him on Curry just because he's tall. No, you put a tall athletic dude on.
Steph Curry always has the point guard. You know, even when you play pickup ball, the point guard is defended by the point guard. Shooting ball, everybody. You sticking the person who's sticking you.
Brother man, no, we're not moving on because him talking craziness and you talking crazy talk just hand checking. First of all, you realize most of the hand checking. If you go back and watch these NBA 80s and 90s games that y'all thought this hand checking was so crucial to shutting people down, they didn't really put the hand on somebody until they entered into the stinking 3-point line. They would have had to come all the way out past the 3. And at that time, when you realize when you come out, now you almost at the mercy of the offensive player. Because the hand checking, most players didn't hand check until you turned your back to the basket. That's when they started hand checking you, went to go into post moves and all that kind of stuff. They wasn't hand checking you at the 3-point line. Show me an NBA reel where somebody come out and start hand checking somebody at the 3-point line. It don't happen. You hand check when you start to turn your back to the basket, and then they start putting their hand on you and trying to do all the holds and stuff. Steph Curry would have ate that hand checking stuff alive. He'd have killed it. He'd have destroyed that hand checking.
Yeah, I don't
Destroyed them NBA players back then. You talking about the hand checking rules? They couldn't even play zone back then. You could play all kind of defense. You could play boxing one to zone. You couldn't do all that back in the day. Jordan didn't even want the zone because he realized that if he had a zone, it would actually hurt his offensive game. So he said, "No, I don't want no parts of no zone." He wanted man-on-man rules. If you came over and you didn't come over all the way, you was called for illegal defense. So that defensive era, for real, outside of the physicalness of certain teams, that defensive era, for real, that was easy to score in. You playing that defense, and them ballers now, you put Kevin Durant back there where you couldn't double team, man, he'll eat the league a lot. Kevin Durant probably averaged 40 easy. Must be crazy. Y'all talking all this crazy stuff. I need to know y'all history. I've been watching ball since 88.
You see, I got him riled up because we said Steph Curry defense. Everybody agree with his suspect. His defense is total suspect.
Just told y'all the stats.
Yo, do me a favor, y'all. Can y'all hit that like button? Y'all watching on YouTube or X? Can y'all hit that like button for me? Joel Embiid, though, if everything is over, if he can't come back, is he a Hall of Famer? And can you retire his number?
400 games, is that enough? Do y'all get his number retired?
I'm not sure he got his number retired at Houston.
400 games, I don't think is enough. I just don't think it's enough. He had some miraculous seasons, won the MVP, averaged over 30 like 2-3 times. 450 something games. I don't think you could justify retiring somebody's number. Not even. It's also the games, but then the accolades ain't come with it. When he did play, we didn't get to the finals. We didn't get to the even Eastern Conference finals. He didn't have no real memorable playoff runs. That's another thing you got to have too, I think, to get up in that, get your number retired. You want Sixers Wall of Fame and all that. You got to have some memorable playoff runs. AI has some memorable playoff runs. Obviously, 2001 was the most memorable. Yeah. But you got to have some crazy numbers, and you got to put up playoff performances that people like, yo, this dude is real. Yeah. And you got to play enough games. B don't got none of that. He don't got enough games played or don't have enough memorable playoff runs. So nah.
I feel the same way. Unfortunately, if he never plays another game again, he's just a good player. But as far as Hall of Fame, I couldn't justify him being all. He got that MVP, which he won it. He got good for him. But he just didn't win enough. He didn't win the pivotal moments. Now, as far as regular season goes, he might, based off his regular season performances, he was great in the regular season. But the playoffs are important. They
are. The playoffs. I mean, for real, man. Playoffs is. I'm not going to say they everything, but they a lot. That's why Peyton Manning knew he had to win a couple Super Bowls and really build up his playoff resume before he could be entered into that, go conversation, all that kind of stuff like that. I still don't think he get enough love for one of the greatest quarterbacks. He kind of get a little overshadowed by. Yeah, I think Peyton Manning should be. He in the top 10 for sure.
He a regular season quarterback. He was.
He got 2 championships. Now, when it was on the back of a defense, but
that last one, I can't even count that last one. He did nothing in that game. It literally was all defense.
It was defense. I agree with you. But he eventually got there. He did win him a chip. It ain't easy to win it. It's not easy to win a single. It's a lot of quarterbacks who never won one Super Bowl. It's not easy. So he got the accolades. He got the Super Bowl. I mean, he got to several conference title games. He just didn't get past the Patriots a lot. Until he did. But he made some good playoff runs, Peyton Manning. And he played a lot of games. He put a lot of work in. I think he should be recognized a little bit higher, in my opinion. I used to like watching him play. Deadly accurate. Could read a defense like a mug. Yeah. Had a solid arm until he didn't. I mean, he has.
When it went though, it was gone.
Yeah.
It left never to return. But he was a great player. The one thing about it is he didn't need an offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator. He called his own plays.
Brilliant football mind. Brilliant football. Had one of the best Hall of Fame speeches of all time. So I actually really love his Hall of Fame speech. He had a great Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah.
He had a couple memorable quotes I actually try to implement in the life of me and my children. A couple of the quotes. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Oh, that brother, man, for you, to you, you're a Steelers fan?
He said he's still a fan, but credit where credit is due.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about all of our free agents that we lost. Anyone that you feel that we're really going to miss?
Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers, I think is going to be huge. I mean, depending on how good the other young boy played, Chino, what's his name?
Keely Ringo.
Ringo. We'll see. But I like what Isaiah Rogers did last year. I also like. I'm kind of mad we lost Burks because I think Burks and Rogers are my two big ones to me, and I say Burks because Nakobe Dean. When is he going to be back? I don't think he probably gonna be back. That injury is like a whole year injury. He probably if he come back next season, was gonna be like week 8, 10.
He said his
Yeah.
kneecap was all the way up his like thigh.
Yes. So who do you? I'm not saying nobody's out there, but Burks came in and ball. He was in coverage. He was getting tackles. I mean, it almost looked like yes. It was like it was almost like Burks. Nakobe Dean put Burke's uniform on and went out there and started playing. It was it was incredible. He did his thing, playoffs and everything. So those two are the ones that really hurt me now. I mean, everybody, you know, people believe in Howie and how we trust. I'm on a couple text threads, and I got a couple Howie, Howieites, and they saying that he going to, lead us to the promised land, let him cook. So we're gonna see. I don't want to panic yet, but them two losses, I don't like them at all.
Yeah.
Hurts.
I was there. Slay held it down last year. He had a very good season last year. I mean, he did miss 3 games, and there was no fall off. So I don't know as far as his leadership. I thought he was a strong leader, but he was kind of a little grimy toward the end when he knew he wasn't resigning. He was just taking like little shots at everybody. Like when they asked him about leadership, he was talking about Reed Blankenship.
Yeah, that was nutty. That was nutty. I ain't like that at all either. That was good.
Then he talked about top 5 elite quarterbacks. He named everybody but Jalen. So, as far as the player Slayers, he's a good player, very good. He probably got a good year, maybe 2, but definitely a good year. 1 year left. He's 34, so still, I think the Steelers are getting a good team, a good player.
Okay, we got a hater and I miss. Is a hater amongst us? Charlie M says Hurts has a loaded team, so he's saying he should have won because his team is stacked. It's a lot to that though. See, you could say somebody got a loaded team, but you also a loaded team comes with as my man Biggie said, more money, more problems.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
comes with more problems. So you have to have the mental wherewithal, the demeanor, the savviness, the wisdom, the understanding, the knowledge. You got to be able to keep all that together from imploding. Because remember, at one point in the season, at least AJ Brown and Smitty wasn't on the same page, especially AJ Brown. He was in the middle of a completely unraveling.
Yeah.
And the cool comments, one thing you hear about Jalen throughout all the players is he don't get rattled. He don't get overly emotional. He don't fall into the foolishness that like a McNabb and T.O. That situation, AJ Brown and Jalen could have easily turned into McNabb and T.O. if Jalen's personality was different. And once that happens, everything is over. Yeah. Jalen is the perfect quarterback for this roster. It's packed full of talent. It's packed full of dudes who want the ball. It's packed full of different personalities. Even on offense, it's probably one of the most different personality offenses. You got AJ, you got Smitty. They different, but they both dogs. They both want the ball. Then you got Saquon, same thing. Then you got Goddard, another dog. I'm sure he won his piece of the pie too. So you got so many different dudes. Like it take a maestro in order to do that, and Jalen maestro that offense all year, bro. You can't hate on that. Can't hate on.
You got a head coach who got a slightly slow a little bit, and you got to put that all into everything.
He could be a little much at times, but I do think he is also a good players coach.
He's a good player. One thing I will say with the Eagles is they allow him to grow into the role because he makes a lot of mistakes, and then he's able to correct himself. Like last year, just taking a play calling away from Brian Johnson and calling plays and messing up, then firing Brian Johnson. That was corny. Then all of a sudden, you're gonna get a real offensive coordinator to come in, and then meanwhile, he got rid of Brian Johnson. Now everybody looking at him like he couldn't call games. So they did the same thing with Howard. They let the people that they let them learn from their mistakes and keep them and by doing so, you're not starting from scratch every year. So I thought that's one thing I like about the Eagles organization. Except how they did the boy Brian Johnson. I'm gonna keep preaching it every time too. I hate what they did to Brian Johnson.
I agree. That was definitely nutty. How they did B Johnson. Yeah. But and like you mentioned and Brother Man mentioned them. This is why though I know you be hating on the new offensive coordinator. You hating on that what's his name, Sirianni, who may start calling plays or may start being more of an offense. You need your head coach to be a offensive mind. You actually want Nick Sirianni to grow into that. I know you do a lot of hating on Nick, but you need him to be that, because if he's not, every year Jalen's gonna have to learn a new offense when he wins, because the Bulls are winner. When he gets your team deep, either to the Super Bowl, or get your team deep in the playoffs. Oh man, offense coordinator doing his thing. Here go $10 million. Come coach our team. Here come $15 million. Come coach our team, and you back to square one. But if your coach has an offensive mind, you can at least establish a similar type system every time somebody come in. So Jalen ain't feel like he's starting from scratch all over again. All the little, the nuances is the same, the verbiage is the same. So you cook.
I get that, but you don't need Sirianni at this point, because that's what Jalen is doing now. He's what works for him with the new offensive coordinator comes in. They just kind of gel with his new stuff with the old stuff. Sirianni just don't need to be anything a part of the offense. Sit there and be that like they want him to be, that CEO, head coach. But I don't want him calling plays. He's not a good play caller. First time he did it, we stunk it up, and then they went to
He called the bomb. He called the bomb to Smitty in the Super Bowl, right?
No, he said go for it. The offensive coordinator was like,
he called the bomb. He said go to throw downfield. He knew they were slipping.
The offensive coordinator called the play, and he said, well, go for it. Just go for it. He gave the okay. He said push. It was what you call it. What's his name? Kellen Moore's play, and he gave the okay to throw it, and Jalen did it.
Oh, so he called the play.
No, Kellen Moore.
Come on, give him options. He said, "What you want to do? Do this or do that." He said, "Run that one. Go run that play." He called the play. I mean, I know you want to take credit from him. I'm just saying, I don't know how many plays he's called that was been effective, but he called that one. And that was the back.
He approved that play.
Yeah, Phil W. Who hating on Jalen again? Somebody in there hating. I think Charlie M. Charlie M. on hating on Jalen. Listen, Jalen, much like Troy Aikman, you can't hate on Troy Aikman either. How you gonna hate on Troy? Troy again, and truth be told, I kind of got to give Troy the same props that I gave to Jalen. He had even more crazier personalities than Jalen had to deal with. Michael Irvin and Emmett and all them boys. Michael Irvin was coked up out of his mind at the time. He partying all crazy.
Yeah.
And Aikman had to keep these dudes in focused enough to win 3 championships out the deal. I got to give Aikman a lot of props. Aikman was cool, calm, collective. He had another quarterback, didn't fall into the petty stuff, didn't get caught up with the arguing back and forth and all that. Aikman went out there, executed, and won. He did what he had to do to win football games.
But Jalen is way better than Troy, because Jalen just does more with his legs, and it's like certain things. Like Jalen,
I agree. I'm just saying they same mental vibe, like just cool, calm, and collective.
Yeah. I agree with that part. All
and dealing with many personalities. You got to deal with them. I don't think people take that. A locker room can be divided very quickly if the quarterback and some of your star offensive players ain't on the same page. We saw that here in Philly firsthand. We see that Joe dissolve with a team who just came off a Super Bowl run, mind you. Just came off a Super Bowl run, and then the very next year we fall apart because tension in the locker room. Locker room completely divided. Gotta take that in consideration. A quarterback that can hold that locker room together is a powerful, uniting influence. That's why they get paid the most. He's the most important man on the team because he gets the ball every time and he dictates who touches the rock. You gotta give credit to that dude, man.
I agree with that. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Appreciate y'all coming on and just joining us tonight. We was pretty much all over the place. But what we do know is that
that's no conversation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Steph Curry, not the GOAT.
He's in the combo. The Diesel said it. The Diesel said it. He's in the conversation. One of the greatest players, Shaq probably top 15, greatest player, top 10, greatest player all time. Shaq said it. Shaq said it. I'm going with it.
Okay. But we all know it comes down to 4 people, 4 candidates. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Who was the first one I said? I can't remember.
Yeah, I seen that. I see we should Kenny Pickett. We got McKee. I think we like McKee better than Pickett, brother, man. That being said, Golden State is playing right now. I got to check and see what my man, the chef, is doing.
Okay, hit that like button for me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification.